Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alicia Marie. So the backstory you need before you watch this video is you need to know I am 21 years old and I am already married. My husband and I have been married for a little over a year and a half, and my husband's name is Josh. And so you might watch that and be like, girl, you're 21 and married? Yes, I am, and I absolutely love it. So since we did get married so early and soon in our lives, we got tons of questions every single time we either traveled home, or I get questions all the time about it. How is married life? How was your wedding? Or why didn't you have a wedding? Because we did not have a wedding. We eloped. If you don't know what elope means, it just means like you get married at a courthouse, but you don't have like the big production, the big wedding. And so we didn't have, I didn't have a big white dress, or I didn't have like the crazy flowers, the venue, all that stuff. We chose not to do that. And if you are wondering whether or not that's something you should do, I 100% recommend watching this video beforehand, because I am realizing that this was a really positive decision that we made for ourselves. And I just want to give you guys a different perspective from someone who already is married and decided not to go the route of like the typical traditional wedding. So a big reason why we didn't have a big wedding is because we kind of got married very quickly after we decided we wanted to get married. We got married in a courthouse in San Diego, September 20th, 2018. And it was so special, you guys. And a big reason too that we didn't get married is obviously there's a lot of financial burden on a wedding. It is freaking expensive, and while for some people that is completely worth the money and that's a day they picture since they were little, for me, I know I talked about having a wedding when I was younger, but it's not something I pictured that much. I couldn't picture it in a church. I couldn't picture it on a beach. I just didn't picture it. The only thing I could picture when it came to my wedding or me getting married was the after part, being married, having an apartment together or a home together, having kids together. That's the part I could picture. And so I didn't want to wait a long time for a wedding, a big production, when that's not something I really needed to feel happy. And I saw this tweet that I think is very, very true. It says that the reason, well, I can't say it's completely true, but I just think it does have some truth to it. The reason, said tweet, is that the reason that the divorce rate possibly is so high is because people are ready for weddings and they're not ready for marriages. And yeah, I understand, weddings are fun. I've been to weddings, they're a blast, the best day of some people's lives. And I'm here to tell you, you can have that without the production. If you're the type of person who, this is something that I really recommend you think about yourself, and you think about what makes you comfortable and what doesn't, and just the type of person you are. I feel like I am a pretty open person for the most part, but I also there's another side of me that's very closed off and personal, and I could talk about Josh all day long. I'm not personal about talking about who I'm in love with, but when it comes to just our relationship with each other, I don't know if that even makes sense, but that moment of getting married was very personal to me. It was very intimate. And it's not something that I wanted a bunch of random people around for. That was pretty much my most vulnerable moment so far in my life. I just wanted the person that I was going to spend the rest of my life with. I wanted him there and looking at me and us knowing it was just us two. Josh's parents fortunately were able to come. It was a very weird year for my parents because my dad unexpectedly had to go on deployment. And so he was going to be gone for a while, and the timing just didn't work out. It was literally a couple of weeks before he was supposed to leave, and he, he was going to take off months from his work, so taking off even more time, it just wasn't really possible. But that was okay for me because I'm so happy Josh's parents got to come, because I know for him, he really needed that, and you know, like that means a lot to him, and so I will always appreciate that. For me, like, I'm happy that they were able to come and we were able to like have our witnesses be people that we love and we care about so much. And so it honestly went exactly how I wanted it to go. And I think about that day with Josh, and I think about how it was just me and him, like in his car driving to the courthouse, and we got dressed up, you know, like we were in a t-shirt and shorts. I did wear a white dress, and it was like a short one, but I did wear, like, I wanted to look nice, and he looked really good. And we were driving in his car, and I just like looked at him and I just felt like it's me and you. God, I will never forget that moment. Like, so being married, it is tough, but financial burden, it's hard, you know, because depending on what you guys decide to do, if you guys decide to merge accounts, learning to share money and learning to deal with each other's money behaviors, it is hard. And moving into a place, if you are not like ready for that and you don't have a ton of money saved for that, that is going to be tough. And we didn't have tons of money saved for that, because we kind of decided like we're getting married and we just did it, you know, like we both kind of have those personality types that, I don't know, we want what we want and we just do it. And so I didn't like have months saved up. I was moving to San Diego, like my car had to be shipped out there. That was like $1,000. Our apartments out here in San Diego is expensive. Our apartment, like, you have to pay a deposit. Some deposits are full month's rent, plus you have to pay first month's rent. So we had to plan for a lot, and then just like, you know, putting furniture into our apartment, all the basic stuff you need, that like was like $3,000, like just the furniture itself. Thankfully, Josh had some savings that he was able to pay off, like first month's rent and then the deposit and stuff. So like that was already taken care of, but we were like $3,000 in debt from the beginning, and that was just from furniture, like literally furniture. And we didn't get nice stuff. We got stuff from like IKEA, you know, stuff like that. And so we were able, fortunately, to pay that off like very fast, like seriously within 2 months of our marriage. But debt is seriously, if it's not something you're comfortable with, it is hard. It can be hard in a relationship. And starting yourselves off financially is so important for a healthy marriage, because fighting over money, it's uncomfortable. And I think it's like really sad too, because like money is just such a materialistic thing, and the way I see it get in between marriages and families, it's like it breaks my heart, and I never want that for myself. You know, like I don't need a ton of money. I just need money to be comfortable and to be able to take care of ourselves, and then also to be ready in case there's an emergency. And so spending $20,000, $30,000 on like, you know, kind of the low side of like a wedding, that's not something I was interested in. If we were gonna spend money on something, we don't wanna spend money on like people's food at our wedding. You know what I mean? Like spending thousands of dollars on plants that are gonna die, or beer for other people to drink. I don't want to spend my money on that. If I'm spending money on like us, we're gonna spend money on a trip. Like we're gonna travel and just like make our relationship stronger. So that's like something to think about. If money is something you are nervous about, and you're separated right now, your accounts are all separated, I promise you it's going to get a little harder, at least just a little bit, but most likely a lot harder when you merge everything together, because they're going to be spending money on things that won't give you any benefit, and that's like might bother you for the first couple of months, and you don't want to be going in debt together. Like that's a really hard way to start off your marriage. And it's, for us, I felt like it was different because at least ours was like stuff we needed. It was for furniture, and we had a plan to pay it back right away, and we did. But if you don't have a plan and you're just spending a wedding because you think it's what you need to do, I promise you, you do not need to do this. You need to think about your marriage first. Think about like what's gonna make you happy on that day. If you're not comfortable speaking in front of people, and I've talked about this before. I am not the most comfortable speaking in front of people, like especially people I don't know. It's like I fumble my words a lot, and I think I'm getting a lot better at it for sure, but that's not something I want to be thinking about. Like, oh, are people like, I don't know, thinking about, are people like noticing me fumble? Like Josh knows I fumble all the time. I can be comfortable in front of him and say it, and like I don't feel like, oh, I'm gonna go hide in my shell now. But in front of random people or people I hadn't seen in months, or just like a situation like that, that's not something I'm interested on in the most special day of my life. And so like I just want you guys to know that you don't need to go this route. Your marriage can be more than happy, if not maybe happier, if you decide to make this day more about you two and what you guys have, and just like a really special, intimate moment that's between you, your husband, maybe your families if they're there, and the person who's marrying you. Like that moment will forever be so special in my heart, and I just like, I felt like the closeness of it is what made it even more special, you know? And you can still make it really fun. Like what we did is Josh's parents were so generous and got us a suite in this town, La Jolla. It's a very gorgeous beach town in San Diego. It is just beautiful. And they got us like a seaside suite. We had like an ocean view. Nicest place I've ever been to in my entire life, honestly. And we stayed there, I think for 2 nights. And then one of the nights, all of Josh's friends, who are all pretty much my friends now, we all went to a restaurant together, and we all had like a big nice dinner together. It was intimate, and it was low-key and casual, and it was just perfect. Like, oh my god, so much fun. I think about those first couple days because I literally moved to San Diego and got married like the next day. And such a whirlwind, like seriously, and it's been a 1.5 years now, and honestly, like I can't imagine myself living my life any other way right now. And I'm just so happy that we went about it the way that we did. And financially, I bring up finances because you guys, like, really, this is plays a huge role in just like being married. Finances, especially like if you're just like a new couple starting out, it really can play a big role. And I like just wish I could tell people that going in debt over something that you can make just as special, it's not worth it. It's not worth like the arguments you possibly could have. You could put that money into a trip for just you two, but what I would really recommend, if you guys want to do it like the smart way, put that money into like an emergency fund. Like if you have money like that, or if you're trying to save for something, save for one, the furniture that you're gonna need to like move in and all the moving stuff, because that's expensive. And then 2, save up for an emergency fund so that if there's any type of huge accident in your family or anything that happens out of the ordinary in your family, it's not gonna cause stress between you two, and it's not gonna push you two apart. For example, like the coronavirus right now, I know this is talked about all the time, but seriously, this is causing a lot of financial burden for so many families that aren't prepared for this. And the only thing making me feel better with Josh, because he's getting out soon, so he's not gonna have like that stable job in the military anymore. And he's actually getting out in like 2 months. And so the only thing like making me feel better is that we have a good chunk of money set aside that we worked for from the beginning. And I know like we're not gonna be, you know, arguing about money because we'll be fine, you know? So like think ahead, think about your future. Obviously, like, you guys should live in the moment and everything too. And there just has to be a balance. I understand that there can be a lot of pressure from other people about having a wedding, and it's honestly just because they want something to go to that's like gonna be fun for them. And it's not about other people in this case, it's all about you. Like even when it comes to if someone's gonna pay for it, like go ahead maybe, but like really think about beforehand. I think about if we could go back and we had the money, if we would do it any differently. The only thing I would do differently is like if we could get married in a different country, but the size of how many like people were there and how intimate it was and how like low key it was, I wouldn't have changed that. Like I really wouldn't have, because I don't think I could have been any happier than I was like when we officially said I do. And I just felt so comfortable like in my own skin being there with him, and so I wouldn't change it. And I just like, I wanted to give you guys some things to think about before you go on this amazing journey. It is going to be like the most incredible thing of your entire life. Marriage, like it'll bring you more happiness than anything. And I just want to give you guys some tips from someone who has gone through it and has went through it a different way, and I definitely think I'm better off for it, and that our marriage is better off for it. And so I'm gonna end it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Even if you're not getting married, it's still like something you can watch later in your life, or watch now and then watch again later. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope you're staying really healthy during this time. And if you guys could, I'd really appreciate if you could like this video. It gets it in front of more people's eyes. And then also, if you have returned and you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much. Your support means everything to me. Seriously, like, God, I love you guys, and this channel has been so much fun for me. So thanks for like giving me the support and kind of like the motivation to keep going. Also, if you're new here and this is your first time watching any of my videos, thanks so much for joining me. If you would like to consider joining my YouTube family, I will open my channel to you with warm arms. I'm so happy to have you here, and I hope that somewhere in my channel you can find content that fits you and is something you're interested in. And I post every single Sunday, and I will also post here and there throughout the week as well whenever I have time. So thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great week, stay productive, and stay thriving.